There's something strange going on. One of the most respected names in football media ran the 2026 World Cup through its own AI model. The machine's answer was France. But an analyst at that very same outlet, writing his own pick by hand, completely ignored the machine. He chose Portugal. Same tournament, same 48 nations, same company, and yet, two different champions. And that's just one outlet. Widen the lens, and the world's most powerful supercomputers, bookmakers with millions on the line, and the sharpest experts in the game are all looking at the same 48 teams. And disagreeing about who lifts the trophy in New Jersey on July 19th. So instead of adding one more prediction, let's do something more useful. Let's line them up, the machines, the money, and the people, and see exactly where they split. Because that disagreement tells us far more than any single forecast ever could. Let's start with the cold, mathematical answer. The Opta supercomputer ran this entire tournament 10,000 times. Its conclusion, Spain are the most likely winners, but only just. Because Spain lifted the trophy in only 16.1% of those simulations. Flip that around, and even the model's number one fails to win more than 8 times out of 10. That's how wide open this tournament is. The data loves Spain for concrete reasons. Spain are the only team the model gives a better than 50% chance of even reaching the quarterfinals. The reigning European champions have no weak link, a midfield that strangles games, a teenage superstar in Lamine Yamal, and a system built on control. And to the model, control is everything. Control is repeatable, chaos is not. And it's not just Opta in the data camp. A major outlet's AI simulation also crowned Spain, beating Argentina 2-1 in the final. Even Elon Musk's Grok AI, asked to predict 70 years of World Cups, landed on the same answer for 2026, Spain over Argentina, by the very same score. So is it settled? The machine has spoken. But there's a crack in the math. Because Spain's actual World Cup history reads like a horror story. Take away that one famous triumph, and Spain have reached the semifinals just once in their last 14 World Cup appearances. The model's golden pick is a team with a long, documented habit of collapsing at this exact tournament. The numbers love them, history does not. And here's where it gets complicated. Not all the data points to Spain. Ask a different model the same question, and you get a different king. One widely cited AI prediction had France winning most often, 20%, defending champions Argentina second on 18, Spain only third, on 14. Another model gave France the highest raw probability of anyone, and concluded the bookmakers were simply overrating Spain. Even Opta, who picked Spain, gets interesting up close. Peel back the headline, and France's chance of winning is 13%, but their chance of reaching the final? 21.3, the second highest in the whole tournament. Why the gap? Because France were drawn into the toughest group of any contender, and trip up early in many simulations. But in the scenarios where they survive to the quarterfinals, France become terrifying, and they win the games that actually matter. This is the real fault line in the data. It isn't Spain versus France, it's style versus survival. Spain model beautifully across a whole tournament, because control is consistent. France model beautifully in the knockouts, because firepower and big match experience are exactly what a single elimination format rewards. The machines aren't wrong about each other, they're just measuring different things. So how do the people actually betting money see it? The bookmakers are sitting almost exactly on the fence. Spain a narrow favourite at around plus 430, France a whisker behind at plus 500. Then England at plus 650, Brazil at plus 800, and defending champions Argentina pushed all the way out to plus 950. The prediction markets, Polymarket and Carragher, tell the same story. Spain around 16%, France and England just above 12, Argentina below 10. But there's a quiet, fascinating detail in the betting data. At one major bookmaker, Spain attract the most individual bets, but France attract the most money. In plain terms, the casual public backs Spain, the big, sharp money backs France. So even the bettors are split along the exact same crack as the machines. The crowd sees the European champions, the pros see the team built for July. Now bring in the people who watch these teams for a living, and the consensus drifts away from the data's pick of Spain. Jamie Carragher, on the Telegraph's channel, tipped France to win it, beating Portugal in the final, and crucially, both Spain and England going out in the semis. A betting analyst at FlashScore also went France, with a very human logic. France have reached the final in each of the last 2 World Cups. They have the deepest squad on the planet, and this is Didier Deschamps' farewell. A man who's already lifted this trophy as a player and a coach, chasing one final scene. This is the argument people keep making, and the part no model fully captures. You don't win a trophy on possession stats, you win it with a team that has stood in the fire before and not flinched. France have, Spain, at least at a World Cup, have not. And there's one boldest call of all. Remember that analyst who overruled his own company's AI? His pick was Portugal, at plus 1100. Cristiano Ronaldo's last dance, a genuinely loaded squad, and odds long enough to be the call of the year if it lands. The only forecast willing to throw out both the machine and the crowd. Which brings us to the strangest case of all, Argentina. They are the defending world champions, and yet almost no public forecast places them in the top 2. Opta, 4th, prediction markets, below 10%, bookmakers, 6th or lower. The data's argument is blunt. No team has defended a World Cup since Brazil in 1962. The squad is a year older, and magic runs out eventually. And yet, they refuse to vacate the final. One AI simulation puts them in it, another does too, a third sends them to a final against France, a rematch of 2022. One model rated them the second most likely winner of the entire tournament. Every time cold logic tries to bury the defending champions, something drags them back to the final weekend. Online, Argentina fans just roll their eyes at every chart that erases them. They said exactly this in 2022, too. And they have a point. The one thing machines always struggle to price is the very thing that won the last World Cup. A hardened core that has done it before, surrounded by a generation of superstars on a farewell mission. That's not a number you can feed into a simulation. It's the variable the data can't see. Step back, and the most honest answer is the most important one. Nobody knows, and the spread of these predictions is the proof. Whoever you pick as favorite, their odds are around 16%, which means that favorite, any favorite, has roughly an 84% chance of not winning. The supercomputer itself thinks only about a third of its 10,000 simulations produce a first-time champion. So a familiar giant will almost certainly lift the trophy, but which giant is, statistically, a coin flip between about 5 teams. And here's the line that should make every confident pick nervous. The pre-tournament favorite has actually lifted the World Cup just once in the last 6 editions. So the real value in all of this, the supercomputers, the AI simulations, the betting boards, the expert brackets, was never the single name at the very end. It's the map. Spain control games but wobble at World Cups. France start slow but turn lethal in the knockouts. Argentina defy every model that doubts them. Portugal are value hiding in the shadows. England carry their talent, and a 60-year question about whether they can finish the job. The machine says Spain, the money says Spain, barely. The experts say France. And the defending champions say, watch us, one more time. The only model that actually settles this kicks off on June 11th. And if recent history means anything, the team that wins it will probably be one that almost nobody is shouting about right now.